Firestorm, man. Nobody calls Han Solo a bitch.
Bring him on. I prefer a straight fight to all this sneaking around.
I don't know where you get your delusions, laser brain.
Oh, come on, bro. It's the wars.
Alright, so this is the part where I usually jump in and tease what the theme of the show for the week's gonna be. But I really have no idea. This week's kind of a mystery bag. This is The Wars and More. I'm Joe, and of course with me is my good buddy Doug. Hey Doug, how you doing this week?
Doing pretty good, Joe. How are you?
I'm doing alright. This is going to be a fun one, because we don't really have like a overarching theme. We don't get to group our stories together this week and, have any type of flow.
True. Little bits of this and that's.
Yeah, we're really going to be reaching all over the place, talking about all different kinds of things, from toys to video games to TV shows to movies to it's craziness.
Right.
This is just going to be a wild show.
Yeah.
Just going to kind of like, I should have put all this stuff in a hat and just like pulled stories out of a hat. Like, oh, we're going to talk about this next.
I like that idea. Actually, it should be a helmet. A stormtrooper helmet is what it should be.
Or like a big wheel, right? Like we spin the wheel.
Yeah, sure. That works. Yeah.
That would have been great. I mean, that would have been fantastic. Should have done that.
Big wheel from Canto Bite. How's that?
Yeah, there we go. So let's start off with, okay, every time we go down this road, I always end up getting a little perturbed.
Uh-oh.
Okay, every time we mention Hasbro,
yeah.
I get a little upset, and this is not going to be any different.
Nice.
I mean, I'm happy. Don't take me wrong. It's about damn time.
Yeah,
Hasbro is finally making a 6-inch Black Series figure for Zeb.
Nice.
The catch is no one's going to be able to find it, but
really?
they're making it.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I got you. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, they're going to make it. They're only going to make like 20 of them or something like that. But
yeah. Well, I mean, this is something everyone's been wanting for a while, right?
well, yeah, I mean, one, they have the rest of the Ghost Crew.
Yeah.
I have the rest of the Ghost Crew. I have all of them.
Gotcha.
No Zeb.
Yeah, no Zeb.
So,
which
arguably the coolest looking of them.
It's a real head scratcher. Because why would you not include Zeb? I just don't understand.
They give something about like the articulation was a challenge. His weapon, since it has several configurations, was a challenge.
Really?
Yes. I mean, lightsabers have 2 configurations, and you just give us 2 lightsabers. So
done. Yeah.
You have an ignited blade and a nut, and you just give us both. So maybe you could make each one do 2 things.
Wow. Okay. Well,
I mean,
I think that's what we call a corporate spin, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and the new joints presented, problems with the painting and airbrushing. And
come on, man. It's 99% of these things are going to be sitting on a shelf in one position for a long time. So
yeah, custom action figure makers are like rolling their eyes.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Wow.
Yeah, it says his weapon converts into 4 different modes, making an engineering puzzle that required a very clever solution.
Okay. If you say so. How's that? I don't know.
Yeah, when did they when did Rebels wrap up?
Oh,
2017?
Something like that, yeah.
It's 2020.
Yeah.
It's plastic, people.
Right. It's plastic. So, how long has the rest of the Ghost Crew been out?
I think a couple of them got released last year, right?
Okay.
I think Ezra was released last year.
Okay.
Yeah. Ezra and Chopper came out last year.
Okay.
2019. Beginning of last year. I feel like I've had those figures a while.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, this is kind of par for the course for Hasbro, right? I mean, this is what you alluded to. It's like you said, about time, but not a surprise, right?
Yeah, I mean, they had to bump Zeb to make Paz Vizsla.
Right. Yeah. It's
I mean, cool.
Yes, definitely cool.
Figure,
right?
But Zeb was a main character in a series. Paz Vizsla has like 4 minutes of screen time.
Yeah. Well, Zeb's got 4 seasons of screen time, so
yeah. So this is what I'm saying here.
Well, hey,
So hey, good news, they're doing it.
Yes.
Bad news is the hunt is on.
Yeah.
Apparently they're doing pre-releases though, so like there's a pre-release thing. I gotta get in on that.
Okay.
If I haven't missed it already, they probably did it for like 2 hours on, like Tuesday afternoon while I was at work.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, Zeb's coming.
Excellent.
So, movie theaters are starting to look to reopen.
Yeah, I think everyone's looking to reopen.
Yeah. Crazy thing about not being open is you're not making money, and businesses want to make money.
Exactly.
But yeah, they're Regal Cinemas. Is looking to reopen with a limited capacity starting July 10th. And one thing that they're doing, given that, no movies are coming out right now because no theaters are open.
Right.
So they're reaching back. They're bringing classics back.
Ooh.
And I'll do that with air quotes, right? Classics.
Right.
Because some of them are relatively new.
Okay.
Some of them befuddle me a little bit. But so they're bringing back Black Panther, Bloodshot, Rocky, Unforgiven, The Empire Strikes Back.
Ooh.
This is why we're talking about it.
Nice.
The Dark Knight Rises, Batman Begins. This is where I'm befuddled. 3 Batman films. Inside Out and Jurassic Park.
Huh.
Like, I wonder how 3 Batman films made the cut. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I hate, man. Okay. I hate to say it, but I completely understand where they're coming from with playing these classic films, quote unquote classic, right? But
I mean, if you're picking a trilogy,
yeah, so exactly where my mind's going. Yeah,
maybe a little bias here.
Okay, but I'm thinking, even if it's not a Star Wars trilogy, I'm thinking, there's 3 weeks in a row though, right? There's 3 trilogies. Do these trilogies, right? You buy a ticket and you're there all day, I mean, it could be, I don't know. It'd be a good way for them to attract a larger audience, I believe. I mean, I'm sure there are some people who, in their minds, are thinking, man, who knows? Might never see a Star Wars film in a theater again. You don't know, so this is kind of like to open it back up and be able to go see these movies. I don't know. I'm thinking I'm in.
Yeah, I mean, so like the thing is with the Dark Knight Rises, Batman Begins. Everyone's going to see the Dark Knight.
Right.
That is literally like everybody's favorite Batman film. like of these new Batman films.
Right.
I can't believe that if you're going to do 3 Batman films, because it's not so unthinkable that you do 3 Batman films. But it is crazy that there are the 3 Nolan Batman films.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have a Burton film in there.
Right.
Like how Batman or Batman Returns is not in there. It's just weird.
Yeah. I agree there.
Which, I mean, this is going to be a complete aside, but I'm going to blindside you here. You know they're making a Flash movie, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Apparently, Michael Keaton is going to be playing Batman in this Flash movie.
Ooh, I'm intrigued.
I mean, I don't know if this is like rumor or like confirmed or what. Like everywhere I read it, it seemed like it was like a thing.
Right.
Like it's what they're doing. But I was like, Michael Keaton coming back to play Batman? That's odd.
Yeah. Odd, but I'm kind of intrigued. I mean,
yeah, I mean, and you know, with Flash, they have this multiverse thing, and
yes,
and this whole time travel thing too. Obviously, you can't time travel to go see Michael Keaton as Batman in the past because he doesn't look like Batman in the past.
Right.
Close. I mean, he doesn't look horrible, but
interesting though. Huh.
Yeah, just a little, aside right there.
Well, definitely, if you want to go check out Empire Strikes Back in the theaters again, be worth a go.
Yeah, if you have a Regal near you, I don't know if we do.
Yeah, I'm not sure that we do either, but I wish we did.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm really like, I want to go to the movie theater right now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm sure they'd be taking precautions. I mean,
Yeah, I understand. It's one of those places where I'm like, I'm taking precautions. I mean, I'm not like, freaking out or nothing, but
right.
Like, I go to the store, I wear a mask, and,
Sure.
It's just a movie theater. I don't want to go sit in someone else's chair that they sat in an hour ago.
Right.
That's not my thing right now.
Yeah. That's why I like the trilogy idea. You get your chair for like all day. Then they can sanitize for the next day.
Yeah. Makes sense. All right. Here's a fun one. We like to do these. We watch for stuff on eBay, right? Star Wars memorabilia on eBay.
Yeah.
The crazy stuff.
Right.
Well, this happens all the time. It always seems like a rocket firing Boba Fett is available on eBay.
Uh-huh.
Weird considering there's only like 100 of them out there.
Yeah.
But there is a rocket firing Boba Fett available on eBay for $225,000.
That's a bargain.
Yes. I mean, this is what I think the last one that sold was like $185,000. So it's inflation.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
This is nuts. And I can't believe that this thing's worth this much because I swear everyone I talked to owned one when they were a kid.
Oh, this is so true. I've got to say, there is something that makes me believe that we had to have seen something or heard. I mean, I'm sure we all heard about rocket firing Boba Fett, but I was young, okay, at the time. You're talking a 7 or 8 year old kid, all right, but I have some sort of vague recollection that this was definitely going to be coming out. Boba Fett was a mail away anyway, but I still think like there's something that we had to have seen or it was talked about on some sort of a show or something like that it was going to be rocket firing and then it didn't happen. So,
well, I mean, you're right. There had to have been something, some ad campaign, this is before my time, so I don't know. But everyone seems to tell me, "Oh yeah, I had a rocket firing Boba Fett."
Right. I mean, this is almost like some sort of Mandela effect type thing. I mean, you know, where everyone believes that they had it, yet the facts are no one had it. You know?
Right. And you know, I always feel bad when I tell my friends that they're full of shit. You know, like
no, you don't. No, you don't.
I know. But like everybody seems to believe it, that they had it.
Yeah. And I've got to say, being a kid at that time, I feel like there was something, and I can't put my finger on it, because I was young, that makes everybody believe this. You know,
I mean, did they come out with another one at some point? Like, I
don't think so. I mean,
I don't believe so either. I mean, maybe they had some rocket firing toy and they had a Boba Fett and they're just piecing the two together.
That could very well be true. There were other toys at the time that did that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I
had toys as a kid that, you know, had a little rocket with a spring-loaded thing with a switch. And
sure.
I shot my brother in the face with it.
And hence why Boba Fett didn't come that way. So I believe there actually was some sort of an incident that there was a tragic choking situation or something.
Yeah, it was another toy happened.
Battlestar
Quality control
Galactica,
freaked out.
Maybe, I don't know, but yeah, exactly. Yeah, we can still put all these little blasters and things with the toys, but you know, no projectiles.
Right, and I'll say this for everyone who is 100% convinced that they had this exact toy, this unpainted rocket firing Boba Fett, you're missing out on $225,000 because you obviously don't have it anymore.
What I want to see is all these people scouring their mother's attics right now.
Yeah.
Looking for this thing that they'll never find. It'll make me laugh.
Yeah, I wonder how many of them I can say, dude, I'll give you $1,000 for it right now if you can find it.
Yeah, exactly. Man, wouldn't that be amazing? You'd be rich.
I wouldn't be able to stop myself if they did it, like walking away like sucker.
Exactly.
About to make $224,000 profit.
Right.
I wouldn't be able to do that. I can be an ass, but not that big one.
I don't know, man.
I mean, you definitely lose a friend.
Yeah.
Money well spent.
More wealth than you can imagine. I can imagine a lot.
Oh, man. All right. Just keeping the bag of randomness going.
Okay.
So remember just a couple months ago, I think around May, maybe even April. I said a couple months ago, so I had to correct that.
Right.
It was a couple months ago, like May.
Or last month, whatever. Yeah,
yeah, something. We were talking about Star Wars Episode 1 Racer was coming to the Switch and the PS4.
Right.
And I was super stoked about this.
Yeah.
Because I absolutely love this game. It's a lot of fun. I'll probably get bored of it just as fast as I did before. But like when you start, it's really fun.
Yeah.
I do this with racing games, period, right?
Sure.
Racing games, I'm like all in for about 3 weeks.
Yep.
Then I'm pretty much done. You can only go in circles so many times, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But it is out. So
excellent.
after its delay back in May, it was originally slated to release like May 12th or something like that. But it was a failure to launch. So
Okay. Wow.
they have rectified that and it is out.
Awesome.
I don't know what issue they ran into, but they have resolved that and the game is now available. So I got to go pick this up.
Yes, go get your copy and have a good time pod racing.
All right. Oh, Mark Hamill. Only right we talk about Mark Hamill. This is a kind of a theme.
Right. We should always talk about Mark Hamill.
Oh, Mark Hamill's activity kind of like on Twitter and things like that kind of really caters to us talking about him, it seems like, every week.
Yes.
He's just so active in saying stuff about Star Wars. It's just...
Well.
So Mark has revealed that he had cameos in Rogue One and Solo.
Yeah. Interesting.
Now, he revealed that he had cameos in them. He didn't say what they were.
Right.
So these two are still a mystery.
Yes. This is going to be interesting. I mean, we know that Mark has done some stuff in the sequels, beyond the character of Luke. So, and that's pretty well known, I think, at least for a couple.
Right.
But yeah, I think this is going to become a new quest for a lot of fans. Figure out.
Oh yeah, it's just a matter of time
plays.
now until someone finds out what he did.
Oh yeah.
But this stayed hidden because, well, I'll read Mark's tweet first.
Okay.
He says, "It was never about billing or salary. It was for fun and the fans, and because I love Easter eggs." He says, "I misremembered my pseudonym as Patrick Williams. It was actually William M. Patrick for my older and younger brothers. I'm not telling what the M stands for. #guess."
I mean, is it obvious? I mean, do we think it's Mark?
Yes.
Okay. That would only make sense.
That would only make sense. People on Twitter, though, are fantastic because, like, what you said, the first comment was milk?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And of course, they did show Mark taking a big slug of that green milk from Last Jedi. So, fun stuff.
Yeah. Joke's on us because that guy's right.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't see if Mark liked the tweet. Like, that would be the, dead giveaway.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I mean, I guess the search is on, right? What did Mark do in here? We know he had a cameo in The Mandalorian. That's an official. That was officially announced after the fact, obviously, but
Right.
We know his cameos in the sequel films.
Right.
So Rogue One and Solo,
Yeah.
these need to be found.
Interesting. Yes. So,
And we need to see if they are CG characters or if they're...
Yeah. I will say he is attributed to, well, his pseudonym is in the credits under the additional voices.
Right.
So
I'm just saying, obviously he's not in the suit or
Right.
in the costume, but he may voice something.
yeah, and that's what he's been doing for quite a few years now and is really good at.
Yes. I mean, Mark's a very, very well accomplished voice actor. Very good at it.
Yes.
I mean, Joker, anyone?
Yeah, exactly. And not only that, I mean, you look at the character he voiced in The Mandalorian, the EV-9D9. That
Yep.
voice is super processed. So, Yeah, you'd have a hard time figuring out that was Mark Hamill. So, and it could be the same sort of situation in these movies as well. So, this could be.
you need some TV CSI technology
yeah.
to find this stuff, like enhance,
rotate.
Enhance. Yeah.
If we reverse the frequencies, yeah.
Yes.
I don't think that'll work.
If you put a cup up to the speaker and listen to the bottom of the cup, you can hear this is Mark Hamill.
Yeah. I like it.
Oh, yeah. That's great. I love that he is having fun with this. And this here, like, I really hope that this right here is not over with. Like we talked last week about how he says he's done.
Yeah.
His time in Star Wars is over.
Exactly.
No, do this.
Yeah, this could keep us going for a while. I like this kind of stuff. For sure.
Yeah, we love Easter eggs too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally.
I mean, that's why he can put "and the fans," right? Like, and he says because I love Easter eggs, but that is one with "and the fans" because the fans love Easter eggs too.
Right.
It's digging deep into this stuff and finding the hidden people is really kind of fun.
Yeah.
Have something to add to the conversation, or you just want to let us know how we're doing? Email us, show@thewarsandmore.com. That's the best place to get in on the action. But if social media is a little more to your liking, @TheWarsandMore on Twitter is always a good place to interact with us. And we're also on Facebook, facebook.com/TheWarsandMore. And of course, your portal to this and everything else, The Wars and More, is thewarsandmore.com. All right, so Star Wars Celebration Anaheim, they're killing it all of a sudden. Just killing it. They went from...
Well, they killed it, all right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But
yeah.
We need that jingle right there.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, they went from not saying anything to somehow doing everything right all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Which is great. I'm glad they are.
Yeah, absolutely.
But so the ticket exchange is open as we speak. So if you don't feel like or can't go in 2022,
right?
You can get a refund, or transfer your tickets, whatever.
Yep.
There is a deadline though. So all ticket exchanges must be handled by August 26th. Now, if you plan on going to Celebration Anaheim in 2022, you don't have to do anything.
Oh, excellent.
Your tickets will transfer.
Excellent.
Auto-magically.
So just let it ride, and you basically get non-inflationary price for going in a couple years.
See? Plus side.
Exactly.
Plus side.
I like it. Yeah, that's a good thing. So,
I mean, I encourage lots of people to get a refund.
Right, because that
so
opens up,
I can get tickets.
right, room for us, right.
No,
Yes.
seriously, I encourage everyone to go, right?
Sure.
Go.
Oh,
You're
everyone
gonna love it. If you haven't been,
hey, if the circumstances we're living through have kind of hit you hard and like you can use the refund, by all means do that. But if you can ride it out and go, for sure, go. I mean, it's everybody's situation is different, and
Right.
at least you can actually act on it now. So for the longest time, no one knew what was going on. Now we actually have something to go on. So,
but I'm gonna use the force a little bit here. You are angry about how long this took, and you want your money back.
yeah, exactly. I saw you waving your hand there.
I was waving my hand. But yeah, I kid. I mean, I totally want to go now that it's, that far out.
Yeah.
The whole reason I wasn't going to go to this one is because I was still recovering from Chicago.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's kind of like one after another there. We talked about that.
Yeah. So if some tickets open up that I can like get in on before they're gone again, yeah, I'm doing this.
Right.
But yeah,
Cool.
it was,
Good
yeah, I spent way too much money in Chicago. And I guarantee I will spend way too much money in Anaheim if I get the chance to go.
Right.
And if there's a celebration in 2023, I won't be able to go to that one.
Exactly. Yes.
So, yeah, but this is good. I hope that the whole reason for the delay is they wanted to make sure they had all their ducks in a row. I think they could have had their ducks in a row like this much sooner.
Yeah, so do I.
But
and they might
everyone else seemed to have it.
Yeah, they might have been holding out hope that it could still happen, but I don't know how long you go before you realize it just isn't gonna happen. So
yeah, I mean, I understand holding out hope because you want it to happen, but you got to be reasonable with the people that are going.
exactly,
They got plans to make, and
yes.
and they have to get everything in order. And waiting until a month and a half before, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
kind of crazy.
Totally.
But at least they didn't like release a little bit of information and then a little bit more and then a little bit more. No, they when they finally made the announcement, everything's available. So that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. Last week we talked about Squadrons.
Yeah.
Squadrons. We saw the cinematic trailer and we were like, wow, this game looks amazing.
Yes.
Well, now we've seen the gameplay trailer.
Uh-huh.
I think we saw it like the day after we recorded. So it's like,
yeah.
Damn it.
Right.
But wow, this game looks amazing.
Yes. Yes, it does. I from what I've seen, this is looking like something that I might want to pick up here, and we all know that, I'm not quite the gamer you are. A lot of folks listening are, but man, this thing just looks cool. I don't know.
I mean, one thing that will be without fail with Star Wars gaming, if you put me in an X-Wing,
I'm
in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I all those games of old that did that, I was always there, right? So
right. And everybody listening to this podcast for any period of time, when we were talking about Resistance, what was I always harping on?
Oh yeah. God.
The ships look great.
Ships, yes.
The best part of the show is when they're in the ships. Go
Right.
back to the ships.
Exactly. Yeah, the racing and stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah. The ships will always draw me in.
Yep.
And this looks really cool with the whole, 5v5 kind of thing. It doesn't look like they're going to go too crazy with 10v10 matches and things like that.
Right.
No, it looks like it's going to be squad based and objective based.
There are different levels or modes that you can do though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, here's what I love, right? Because it's like play at your own speed kind of thing, right? You can do this 5v5 thing, but you could do it by yourself with an AI, which is kind of my speed, right?
Right.
You want to do 5v5 playing against other players, you do that. Then you do this fleet, like control a fleet. I mean,
yep.
Dang. You know what I'm saying? That's I don't know.
Yeah, and I guess I should say, I guess it looks like there probably will be matches that are more than 5v5, but you will be in 5-person squads.
Right, exactly.
So you will have a squad that you're supposed to work with.
Yes.
Which means in multiplayer, that's not going to happen.
Right.
So every team will have a Maverick.
Of course. But I like I said, I like the, there's going to be a campaign, right? Which is good. I like this. And there's going to be, being able to play against an AI, which
Star Wars gaming campaigns have a new level of fun, right? Because they have said that everything going forward in Star Wars
yes,
is canon.
of course.
So this story is part of the official Star Wars, narrative.
Yes.
So yeah, to play a game and it means something in the greater story, that's fantastic.
It's awesome. And we, from this trailer, we got to see none other than Harrison Dula interacting with us throughout, which is like phenomenal. I'm
in. Sold.
I'm in. Done. Exactly. Sold. Yep. I want this game. So
yeah, and it's not like some knockoff Harrison Dula, right? It's Vanessa Marshall.
it is definitely Vanessa Marshall. Yes, I checked. It was, which it sounded exactly like her. I probably didn't need to check, but yes. So authentic.
Yeah, we've complained about the pace of Star Wars gaming over the last couple of years, but the good thing is that we are getting this connective, tissue, right? It's part of the story. It's not just,
right.
It's not some off the wall. It's not Legends material, right? It's
almost like it means something more, I mean,
you can sit down to play a Star Wars game and get new Star Wars story.
yes.
And new Star Wars story that's going to matter. I mean, that as a gamer that's been playing Star Wars games for a lot of years now, it's always been frustrating to play a game, get through it, get invested in the story, and then find out it really don't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
And, I can always look at it and say, well, it doesn't really matter that it didn't matter because it was a great story. It was fun.
Right.
But it would feel so much better if it was just part of the canon.
Yeah, for sure.
And since that's the way it is going forward, it feels right.
For sure.
Speaking of the pace of Star Wars gaming, so the CEO of EA, his name is Andrew Wilson. He was on a fireside chat?
Nice.
Not really sure what that is, but
like Roosevelt.
okay.
Yeah, hey.
But he has some things to say about Star Wars gaming going forward. He says, we've had success in first-person shooters and RPGs, in action-adventure and MMORPGs, in mobile, and I believe we're going to have success with squadrons as well. He says, we're going to double down on that partnership. Disney continues to be very, very committed to the IP and to the canon. And I highlight this. We're going to double down on that partnership. So I would look at seeing Star Wars gaming picking up
I like
in the
that.
future. So I expect a higher frequency of Star Wars games.
Yeah, I like the sound of that.
So I'm going to go ahead and copy this. And EA Star Wars will get this tweeted at them repeatedly.
Yes. Yeah. Don't forget what you said.
Yeah. So yeah, this is cool though. I'm excited. What we've seen so far, it's been pretty fantastic. Had its bumps, right?
Right. Yeah.
It's had its bumps. But all in all, EA has handled it better than they've handled the NHL series.
Nice. Yeah, totally.
So yeah, exciting. All right. So one thing that is irritating within the Star Wars fandom is every time there's new movies, things like we did this song and dance with the prequels, right? There's always the groups out there that say, oh, they're going to do this to retcon it, or they're going to do this to fix it, or they're going to do this to nullify it. So this story right here is going to be our is it true or not true story for this week.
Star Wars News.
Lies! Deception! Every day, more lies.
Okay, so this is okay. I have to say, this is really rumor. Okay, but it just never ceases to amaze me that we're still kind of on this. I don't know. So there's a YouTuber. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. You can look into this. You wanna search out Star Wars sequels erased on YouTube. You'll find this. But this YouTuber claims to have some insiders. Okay, at Lucasfilm, and
Sources
say exactly. So here we go. One of the new insiders commented that Lucasfilm can hit the reset button and fix everything. At this point, my source asked, "What reset button?" And the insider responded again, "The veil." Which finally led my source to ask, "What is the veil?" The insider replied, "The veil of the Force." Haven't you guys seen Star Wars Rebels?
Oh, get out of my face!
Oh,
with
here
this
we go.
Are
So,
you kidding me?
yeah, they say in episode 13 of season 4 of Star Wars Rebels, in an episode titled "A World Between Worlds," they introduce the idea of the veil of the Force. The veil of the Force is a mystical dimension of the Force that connects all of time and space. So here we go. This was our big concern when they introduced this kind of idea, and we had Dave Filoni talking about how this isn't that kind of time travel back then, even, right? So I just want to throw that out there. If this is, I have a hard time even saying this. If this were to be true, they would be going against everything Dave Filoni meant for this to be. Okay? Just bear that in mind. So,
Here's the thing.
yeah.
Okay, a move like this. Okay, doing something like this would undermine everything.
Yes.
What can we believe anymore? What is actually happening? What can be changed? We don't want this.
Exactly. Now, this, I have to say, this sounds to me like somebody who disliked the sequel trilogy. Okay.
You think?
Yeah. Well, that's fine. You can dislike it. We all have our problems with the sequel trilogy or the prequel trilogy or the original trilogy. Okay. But they are all part of the same unit. It's not like we want any of it to go away. It is what it is at this point. We can always build on top of what we've got, but there is no need to try and cut away at what's there. I All right.
This whole thing, like, and you already touched on this when that episode aired. We, it was before this show, but we talked about that in our discussions about, is that a Pandora's box
Right.
for Star Wars?
Yes.
Right?
There was legitimate concern, we're going into the time travel thing in Star Wars, but not really. And that's
Right,
what
and-
Filoni was trying to get across.
And I think the way they did it, they handled it and they wrapped it up in Rebels.
Yep.
Made it to where it wasn't that. Now, if you go and do what this story is, saying, now you have opened Pandora's box.
Exactly.
And there is no closing it again.
Right.
Because nothing needs this to where you can just undo what you've done because there was fan backlash. Because let's be real here. The real reason behind this whole idea and this whole story is someone didn't like something.
Yeah.
Okay? It's not about like it undid the fabric of Star Wars.
Right.
No, it didn't do that at all.
Right.
Okay. Did it do some things that I don't agree with? Yes.
Yep.
But it didn't do any. It did absolutely zero irreparable damage to Star Wars.
Right.
It did, and it not. I shouldn't even say irreparable because it doesn't need to be repaired.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Here's the way I'd put it is, with the original trilogy, we caught lightning in a bottle, right?
Yes.
With the prequels, we caught, I wouldn't say lightning in a bottle, maybe,
Maybe a lightning bug.
there, okay. it was, we captured fire in a bottle. Okay.
Right.
Something
See,
like that.
And I shouldn't even say that like that because I mean I love the prequel.
Yeah, so do I.
But I was just saying, like, in comparison to what the original trilogy did.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. But
Yeah.
yes. So
I didn't mean it to be like a shot because I take 0 shots at the prequels.
right. But
I mean, because you can listen to our commentary episode that we did. I mean, there's some Jar Jar spots in there where I absolutely lost it. Like, I'm laughing my ass off. Like, I love Jar Jar Binks and I have no problem saying it.
absolutely. But I would say the sequel trilogy, in comparison, is to some degree, lesser of a reaction story-wise than the OT and the PT. So, and it's not a knock against it. It's just that you can't replicate that over and over and over again. Okay? It's just not going to happen. You can still tell good stories, and we did here. Not we, but Lucasfilm did here. But
yeah, I mean, so like the way we like to describe like our issues with the prequels or the sequels, right, is you look at the original trilogy, right? Progression.
yes,
Progression. Prequels, there was more progression. The sequels, they weren't regression, but they were stasis.
right.
There was not that shove into the future for Star Wars. It just wasn't. It felt like stasis. It felt like, just trying to stay the course, which is somewhat understandable for a new company taking over and not wanting to rock the boat too much, right?
Right.
I mean, granted, they did rock the boat with some things, but I think overall they didn't rock the boat of Star Wars. They rocked the boat of like little things.
Yeah.
So Yeah, I don't know.
This is, I think you called it a Pandora's box, right?
It is a Pandora's box.
This is something that should not be breached. And I don't think anybody at Lucasfilm is willing to go there because, number
The
one,
second they do it, every time someone sees something they don't like, they're going to be like, do it again.
Exactly. Here, let me let me read this one quote here because I think this solidifies everything that we're talking about. So, quote, during another encounter with another insider, this insider revealed that the secret plan to save Star Wars, he or she alleged that the Veil of the Force was going to be used to make the entire sequel trilogy an alternate timeline and reclassify the sequels as Star Wars Legends. Please. Come on. I no way. I'm sorry. Not going to happen like that. It's just not. I just, moving forward, it would make all future Star Wars storytelling
Suspect.
just less important, muddied down. I I can't help but because what is the end goal here? Make that Legends and then what? Remake a sequel trilogy the way somebody else wants it? It just doesn't make any sense. Because, I don't think that's going to happen. Even if you got Mark Hamill to agree to it, it's like, and I don't think he's doing it because what did he say last week? Done with Star Wars?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can't have this. Oh, what Mulligan?
Right. It's just not going to work. I'm sorry.
And then not only that, let's look at this. Like it takes away from what Rebels did. It takes away from the importance of Ezra's journey into there.
Yeah. Right. That was a huge deal. This thing that happened with him saving Ahsoka was huge. If people can't realize that, that was just a cartoon. No. That was a big deal in Star Wars storytelling. That was like a one-time only event.
Right. And like who's going to go back and like hit the do-over button? Who's going in there to hit the do-over button?
Right.
What character in the sequels is like, nah, we did that wrong. We should go in here and hit the reset. Try again.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No one. Because the baddies are dead.
Right.
Okay. I mean, literally, you saw all of them die.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't see. I mean, Broom Boy.
Yeah, but is that what again? I think some of the complainers about Broom Boy are the same ones that are saying this reset needs to happen. So I don't think that's gonna be no.
Well,
don't get me wrong. I have my own issues with Broom Boy, but it doesn't ruin anything for me. Okay, so it's there. It is what it is. It's fine. Whatever. But
I don't know. I don't have a problem with Broom Boy.
I don't think that this is anywhere in the realm of happening. This whole reset thing. I don't know. I think it's really understated how big of a deal this was in Rebels. I mean, not understated, but you know what I mean? Like, it was a way bigger deal in Star Wars story than a lot of people give it credit for.
Let's be real here, okay? I'm gonna make an accusation here.
Okay.
Let's be real here. The person that's throwing this crap out there, they didn't like Rebels either. They're just cherry picking.
Probably. It's probably true. I can't say for sure, but it's a good possibility.
This person hates the prequels. You know, look, we all love the original trilogy, but yeah, we don't want everything to mimic it either.
Exactly.
So, like I said, I have my issues with the sequels, but none of my issues, none of them whatsoever, would drive me to the idea that they should reset the whole thing.
Exactly.
None of them.
All I would like to see moving forward is new, great stories in the Star Wars galaxy moving forward.
Yep. I mean, and let's be honest too. Like, a lot of our hangups with the sequels, since we're involved in other Star Wars media, like books, things like that, we get into that stuff. There are things that they could explain that would soften that blow. Right?
Yep.
You know, they could dive deeper into some of, you know, Luke's history and things that happened to Luke along the way that would probably soften the way we feel about how Luke, you know, was portrayed in the sequels.
While I agree with you, that's not the way I like to see my main characters in Star Wars fleshed out. But, you know, I like to see that on the big screen.
Agreed.
But there is that aspect of it as well. I agree with you.
Agreed. But, like, that's how we like to see it, is on the big screen. But there's no doubt about it, it would soften the blow.
Yeah.
Like, more explanation. Like, how does he get here?
Yes.
That's like, no one's saying I mean, I shouldn't say no one. Reasonable thinkers aren't saying there is no way Luke could get there. No, we're like, how the hell from this point to that point did he get there?
Right.
You can't tell me this one thing, like his nephew turned, is like, oh, that was the straw?
Exactly.
No, there had to be more. I mean, this was happy-go-lucky Luke. The farm boy, always looking to the stars.
Well, I don't know. I don't necessarily want to go down that rabbit hole, but
we're not. That's not my intent here.
Yeah, I just want to put it out there that I cannot believe for a second that this is Lucasfilm's plan. Number one, I think it would be a bad idea for storytelling, right? We talked about that. We went over it. Number two, I don't think the people working at Lucasfilm are that lazy about it. Because really, when you think about it, that is the lazy way to go to try and get around something that you feel you need to get around. And I don't think, number three, I don't think Lucasfilm feels like they need to get around this. So there we have it.
I mean, yes to everything you just said.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, none of that is the case.
Right.
Lucasfilm doesn't feel that this needs to be redone.
Right.
Period. End of discussion.
Yeah. I think this guy needs some new sources.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, first off, I think if someone has, you know, the I guess gall isn't even the right word, but yeah, I'll go with it. Gall, right? to make this kind of statement.
Uh-huh.
Why hide?
Right.
Why hide?
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. Hey, I think it's pretty clear how we feel about this. you know, I guess we'll see as time goes on. But
Yeah.
all I can say is that I hope there is not a shred of truth to this at all.
Well, I will calm your mind. There is not a shred. Not a shred, not a snowball's chance in hell, not a like. What other things can I come up with here? There is not a single damn thing true in this whole thing.
Nice. I like it.
I mean, and I guess the main reason I say that is, I mean, Dave Filoni was very adamant.
Yeah.
Very adamant that this is not going to be something like this.
Right.
It's not that kind of time travel.
Exactly.
You know, so unless they get a DeLorean, this is DOA.
Exactly.
And this is just, like I said, it's just angry people saying angry people stuff.
Yeah.
And I really hope they can get over it.
Me too, because I want all Star Wars fans to just be able to talk about Star Wars and, you know, not try and pull all this remake stuff and, you know, whatever. This Star Wars isn't my Star Wars or whatever. I don't know. So,
and I would think the majority of fans, right? The majority of fans that are in, say, our situation, right? Like we had some things we didn't like, right?
Right.
That does not mean undo it.
Exactly.
That does not mean reset it.
Exactly.
There were tons of things in the expanded universe. And that's the other thing. I'm going to keep this going for a second. That's the other thing. You remember how mad you got about the relegation to Legends? Like
that was a hard pill to swallow.
And I'm not saying you in particular.
Yeah,
I'm directing it towards people saying stuff like this.
Yes.
You remember how mad you got during the relegation to Legends? Is that something you want to make normal? Because you can unleash this weapon.
Yep.
But it will not always be used for what you want it to be used for.
Exactly. And there might be somebody with their finger on the button of this quote unquote weapon, as you call it.
Yeah.
Now that you may or may not like, but next time around it's going to be somebody else that you may or may not like, you know, whose opinions and ideas don't fall in line with yours. And, you know, if it all works out for you right now, it won't next time.
Right. You always got to think about that when you're giving someone power, right?
Exactly.
When you're giving someone power, and this is a power that is indefinite, right? You're giving this person this indefinite power to do this.
Right.
Well, that person will be replaced someday for some reason.
Yep.
And that means that the next person will inherit that power. Is that a power you trust in the hands of someone you may not like?
That's a big old no.
So
definitely, that's definitely something to think about right there. I think those that are spouting this stuff really should take a look at that. And again, if there's any shred of truth to this, which I seriously doubt.
Yeah, there's not.
Whoever is at Lucasfilm thinking about doing this, yeah, don't. I honestly don't think there is any truth to this, but you know, anyone considering this, yeah, consider something else.
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Oh man, that's so wild to think about. All right. Well, if you have anything to add to that, I'm sure someone does. You can always email us, show@thewarsofmore.com. It's the best way to get a hold of us. But we're also on social media. You can light us up there. We're at The Wars and More on Twitter, Facebook.com/The Wars and More. You can find all that and all the ways to find the show over at thewarsandmore.com. Any final thoughts this week, Doug?
No, I think that about covers it.
All right. We will talk next week.